AMS2 is struggling. Since its release in March 2020, numerous updates have been deployed, turning everything you knew about the game upside down each time. Nowadays, the update cycle has slowed down, and the feel of the game hasn't changed as dramatically as it did in months before. But now, Reiza has come along with another huge update in their newest release, version 1.2, and the Racing USA DLC. Today, we'll show you everything new, how the gameplay has progressed, and whether 1.2 could be the turning point for the battered franchise. As you guys probably know, our latest reviews on how AMS2 handles weren't all that positive. Yes, we love the roster of cars, the huge variety of tracks, and the weather system, but that wasn't enough to keep players engaged. Player numbers are in fact at an all-time low, which mainly is due to the lack of a well-thought-out multiplayer and the car handling. Subscriber counts, on the other hand, here at Overtake are at an all-time high, so get yourself subscribed and join the crew. Of course, there are racers out there who swear by AMS2, but in our opinion, it just lacks that spark that makes you feel like you're driving a real car. Getting used to the handling again for this video was already a challenge in the pre-updated version. Especially for GT driving, it can't compare to frontrunners like ACC, Race Room, or even iRacing. So can version 1.2 save AMS2 from its continuous decline? Or is it just another update that misses the point of a great racing sim? To find out, let's take a look at what's new first, and what you can expect from the simultaneously released Racing USA Part 1 DLC. The first new big thing is real weather and live track presets. Ever wondered if it rained at Spa on the 7th of June 1994? Let's have a look. No, it didn't. AMS2 is now hooked up to 40 years of real-life weather data, and that's for every track in the game, which we think is tremendous. This lifts random weather to an entirely new level. Other games like iRacing should take a leaf out of their book. As we've said before, there are many reasons why iRacing should have rain. Check out that video in the top right. But back to AMS2. Sure, realistic weather presets and a new weather UI where you can plan your session aren't game-changing, but it's something unique to the genre and could possibly, paired with the awesome weather effects of the Madness engine, lead to exciting races with your friends. Also in version 1.2 are enhanced dynamic lighting effects and shadows. AMS2 already looked good in previous versions, especially in VR, but flickering shadows often spoiled the shine and ripped you right out of the immersion. With 1.2, there are new shadow effects, and, in our apples to apples comparison, you can see for yourself what has changed, and if the new effects are game-changing or not, in your opinion. Moving on to the last new feature that made it into the new update, and that's custom championships. You can now create your own tournaments with different rounds, all the cars in the game, multi-class, individual point systems, and of course, the custom live track weather. An awesome addition, we think, as the multiplayer still falls short of expectations. Single-player racers out there can scoop a lot of playing hours out of this, especially after another update to the AI, who raced, in our eyes, hard but fair. Before we head over to the physics adjustments and whether you should give AMS2 another spin, we'll take a glimpse at the new content coming for free and everything included in the Racing USA pack. If you don't own the season pass that's currently almost €90, or haven't bought the DLC separately, all the features already mentioned and the BMW M4 GT4 are new to your game. The M4 is a nice addition to the roster of GT4 cars, which already looks decent at this point, with the McLaren, Porsche, Ginetta, Camaro, and now the BMW. Inside the new Racing USA DLC, the GTE class awaits you, the BMW M8, Porsche 911 RSR, and the Corvette C8, as well as the Cadillac DPI VR that solely forms the new DPI class. 3 new tracks were added as well. As the name implies, we're going to the USA. Laguna Seca, Daytona, and Long Beach are now also in AMS2. With a cost of €12.99, the DLC is on the pricier side, which is of course debatable if you compare it to iRacing, Race Room, or R-Factor 2. If you liked AMS2 already, this might be worth a look, but if you're unsure about the car handling, stay tuned for our final verdict on whether the physics update changed things for the better and if AMS2 has improved its handling. Okay, let's talk force feedback. Has it improved compared to the previous version? Yes, it has. Some cars cut a fine figure on track and feel alright to drive. The new GTE class, DPI, most of the prototype cars and Formula cars know how to impress, and we often lost ourselves trying to maximise our lap times even though we initially just wanted to go for a short spin. So, is AMS2 good now? Perhaps even flawless? Well, no, by no means. Most of the GT cars still struggle with the same issues they had before. This is especially noticeable when driving the Chevy Camaro GT4, which really doesn't feel like driving a real car. Lift-off oversteer and a messed up differential are still apparent and nullify most of the progress that Reiza has made with this otherwise awesome new update. The Brazilians are definitely up to something and are heading in the right direction, but the question remains how much more time Reiza will have to fix these issues before AMS2 will fall into oblivion. We will of course keep you informed about the development of the sim, and are already curious to know which tracks will await us in Racing USA Part 2. So, if that wasn't enough sim racing for you today, check out overtake.gg and our socials, and you can find our latest video on top and the development of Project Cars 3 below. Don't forget to get subscribed and ring the bell so you won't miss a thing. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for having me, and until next time, cheers!